I am limiting replies on this because I won't tolerate disagreement. David Zaslav is a disgusting old man who has it in for women, especially women of color. They should be investigated. Under his leadership, Birds of Prey, or Shazam, would have never happened. Let that sink in.
You know, the idea of having a Republican Congress, a Republican Senate, a Republican president is a good thing.
Fans of DC, DCEU shouldn't live in constant fear and anxiety over their movies, shows being canceled last minute for absolutely no reason other than hunger for money. This is disgusting!
If you're enjoying this content, please hit that like and subscribe button. We need you here.
Hey Netflix, I'm jonesing for another IP to ruin. What do you got for me? Put it right here in my hands. What do you got for me? Silverhawks? Thundercats? Mask? I don't care. I'll take anything. I love pissing off Nerdrotic. Welcome to Comic Artist Pro Secrets. Sorry about that. I'm Ethan Van Sciver, 29-year veteran of the comic book industry. 20 of those years were spent at DC Comics, so I guess I'm a DC superfan, just like fellow Jersey boy Kevin Smith. The only difference is I don't really care that DC has canceled the Batgirl movie. Kevin Smith does care. For him, it's an incredibly bad look, as though it is some kind of nerd disappointment couture. Like, you're not supposed to... Kevin, he's not going to wear the cancellation of Batgirl. It's just something that he did to save money. Hey, before we get started in this video, could you do me a favor? Those of you who are new and watching this right now, and you're just experiencing me for the first time, or maybe the second or third time, and you haven't done it yet, take that step, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications, and join this channel. Help us push back against YouTube's suppressive algorithm. Believe it or not, YouTube doesn't exactly love content that makes fun of soy boys, SJWs, and feminists as much as I love making it, and presumably you love watching it. So we've got to kind of assert ourselves a little bit, and you can help. Those of you who are longtime viewers, and in fact just everybody, please hit like, share this video, and always, everyone, you're like my pen pals. Leave me comments in the comments section below. I read all of them, and boy, do I love it. All right, so very sad. Kevin Smith went on his podcast and cried. This is what he does. I mean, some men have more active tear ducts than other gentlemen. Kevin Smith is a gentleman who cries when he loves the shitty superhero product, and he cries when he doesn't like whatever the entertainment company is doing with the shitty superhero product. And that's just the way it is. He's just always crying. And I honestly, I feel like perhaps he's given permission to a whole generation of goony beard men on the internet to also publicly cry. And I point you to Mundane Matt, for example, who cried. I was just on a stream with him the other day. It's very nice to be on a stream with him, but he cried when he wept openly and for a long period of time because he hit 100,000 viewers or subscribers on his YouTube channel. Now, there's no telling what I'm going to do when I hit 150,000 subscribers, but I don't know if it's going to be crying. I feel like Kevin Smith really kind of made a certain breed of man feel like it was okay to have experience and display their feelings. I'm here to tell you it isn't, okay? I'm the other side of the coin here in Jersey. I'm saying keep it to yourself, fellas. Nobody wants to hear it. Like, we have enough women. We don't need men to behave like women as well. Keep your feelings inside. Learn how to hide your feelings. Don't cry out loud. I think that's a song. All right. Nobody in Hollywood besides David Zaslav has come out pro Batgirl cancellation. A few people in Jersey have. That's me. I have. I thought it was a good idea. No surprise that Kevin Smith would have something to say about the decision. He's got a show called Hollywood Babylon. And he says, it's tough sometimes to be a DC fan. Well, that's for sure. Let's see if we can make it a little easier for you by not releasing non-stop garbage into the bloodstream of DC fans. How does that sound? That seems like a plan going forward. Who's with me? It's an incredibly bad look to cancel the, The Latina, the Latina Batgirl. Are there different Batgirls of all different races now? Is that what this is? And there's the Latina Batgirl? The Latina Batgirl movie. You know what I'm saying, Smith Opines? Yeah, I know what you're saying. You're basically saying that people who are people of color or marginalized people, according to SJWs, get special protection. They're allowed to be in shitty movies and still expected to receive special treatment from Whitey. Like, Whitey, he's like, hey, look, I'm white. I'm here to help you. Like, listen, let me help you. I can help you uniquely. I'm in the Whitey Club. Let me see what I can do for you. I mean, they talk that. It's like white liberals are the worst people in the world. Like, they really think that, like, everyone else is marginalized and needs their help. And they're here to be sympathetic and see what I can do. I'll talk to the manager for you. It's really disturbing. He says, listen to this here. I don't give an S if the movie was absolute effing dog S. Well, it's tough sometimes to be a DC fan. Well, you bring it on yourself. What can I tell you? You don't seem to care. You know, you don't trust the opinion of people who are actually running Warner Brothers. We've had nothing but nonstop dog S coming out of these people for the past, 10 years? It's been a long time. 10 years of nonstop absolute effing dog S, and you've eaten it up. You've eaten it up and smiled and pretended that you like it, so that you could get to do what? So that you could get to direct a couple of episodes of Supergirl and The Flash. That was the cost of your honesty, your decency, your integrity. How about not? How about if we just understand that after many, many, many viewings, this project was deemed to be absolute effing dog ass by people who actually care and who invested enough money in it. They invested so much money in this film that the fact that they're canceling it actually says something really important about their integrity versus their profit margin. That's what it says. I mean, it just kind of says, look, moving forward, we can't keep doing this. We can't keep being tough on DC fans. Can't do it. This movie it's not to our standards. We'd love to put it out and maybe make a big profit on it, perhaps, but we don't think it's going to make a profit because we think more of our fans. We think our fans are more discriminating than, say, Kevin Smith. So that's perhaps that's why this movie isn't coming out. He says the two directors who directed that movie did a couple of episodes of Ms. Marvel, did a couple of episodes of a TV show, and suddenly what happens? Warner Brothers, some geniuses at Warner Brothers steal these TV directors away and put them on a major motion picture, huh? Or it's not even a major motion picture. They were given $90 million to make something that would go straight to HBO Max. This is just not good, guys. This just isn't good business. It was a stupid harebrained idea by Jason Kilar. We gotta move past it. Sorry. I'm actually getting annoyed by this. As though it's like this is my business. I'm running this company. I gotta lighten up a little bit. F this, F Batgirl. He says it was a wonderful effing show. They have more money to do Batgirl than they had to do an episode of Ms. Marvel. So what? Wait. I love this right here. The big complaint they said here is well, it wasn't big enough to be an effing theatrical release. It looked too cheap because it was a $90 million movie. How do you make a cheap-looking $90 million effing dollar movie? Good question, but they seem to have managed to have done that. Doesn't that worry you? To hear that, doesn't that worry you? Apparently, it looked awful. But if it looked slightly better than Arrow, why couldn't we have just seen that? It looks slightly better than an episode of Arrow. Can you release movies that look slightly better than an episode of Arrow so that we can see it, please? All right. Listen, Kevin, you've got some money. Why don't you take $200 million of your own money? I'm sure you've got that. Why don't you buy the movie and then you can show it to everybody? You can show it to everyone. You'll be a hero. You'll have saved the Latina Batgirl. And then we make allegations of racism here. It feels like there's more than just we're going to save $20 million. Why? Because she's Latina? You know, what the hell is Ezra Miller? Ezra Miller is like pansexual, weirdo, pervert, whatever he is, non-binary. What is Ezra Miller these days? What is he saying? He's a they, them? And they're putting the Flash movie out. The Flash movie seems to be coming out. That dude's into all kinds of mayhem and mischief, and they're still putting that movie out. Why? Because apparently it's good. I mean, it's shocking to me. It looks like it's going to be a piece of garbage. But according to screenings and people's early reviews, it's really good, so we got to put it out. So, interesting. I just, take note of this. Kevin Smith says it feels like there's more than just, like, we're going to save $20 million. I guess that would be the Latina part of the equation here. Apparently Warner Brothers is prejudiced against Latinas. Fascinating. Well, as long as Kevin Smith isn't, that's a good thing. My goodness, just terrible. So the other thing is, of course, Zaslav canceled Kevin Smith's TV show Strange Adventures that he was going to do. Strange Adventures, an old DC Comics book. They were going to do it as an anthology, I guess, like Twilight Zone or Amazing Stories. And Kevin Smith was going to rescue another canceled, terrible DC project of the past by making Nicolas Cage into Bizarro. Now, do I want to see that? Kind of. I guess I kind of want to see that in the same way that I want to see Batgirl. Like, I want to see how horrible it actually was or could have been. No, moving forward as somebody who is pretending to be invested in the in DC, the DCEU and Warner Brothers, making the right move and actually trying to become a successful company, I don't really care. But I guess I care more than you. I would say don't do that. Don't make Nicolas Cage Bizarro. Don't put out Batgirl. Don't do a show called Strange Adventures. Don't do that. Start over again. Start with Superman. Get it right from the ground floor. Don't worry. I know you're crying about Michael effing Keaton. Don't worry. You're going to get to see him in the Flash movie starring multiple felon, perhaps, Ezra Miller, allegedly. I mean, this is just crazy. He's like, oh, maybe the worst thing for a director to worry about way back when was, oh, maybe they don't take it theatrical, maybe go straight to video. Now they've added a new fear into the mix, which is like, we may not release it at all, and never in any form. So let that be a warning to all of you out there who were formerly being hired simply because of Warner Brothers diversity quotas in their ESG reports, which I showed off in a live stream. Their 2020, 2021 horrendous looking diversity, inclusion, and equity report in which they broke down the racial makeup of their employees, their new hires, their casts, and everyone else, their CEOs, everybody that worked there, by race and ethnicity and gender and sexual preference. Maybe that isn't enough anymore. Maybe now, if the work that you put in, despite whatever it is that you are, you could be you could be a black, transgendered Muslim in a wheelchair, okay, who was a sex worker, and it's just not gonna be enough if your work isn't up to par. They might not release it at all, as in never in any form, and then you could just cry about it and say, that isn't a good look. That's not a good look. Well, it's going to look good in the bottom line, and that's all that matters. Thank you, David Zaslav. You continue to make the right choices in spite of absolute blithering clowns questioning your judgment. I really appreciate you. Thanks very much. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. Leave me comments. I look at them. I answer many of them. I enjoy them. I enjoy the interaction, and it really helps the channel. I'll see you again soon with another video. Take care. Hello, Indiegogo backers. CYBERFROG 2 Wrecked Planet Second Chance campaign is live on Indiegogo right now, just in time to join the fight for independent comics. We need your support. Back it today. Links in the description below.
The All Caps Comics eBay store is live for all of your non-soy comic book needs. Whether it's CYBERFROG, Starblades, or Rainbow the Brute, ask for it in all caps. Check out the link in the description below. Hey, come follow me on Twitter, @EthanVanSkyver.